Hi, I'm Nicole, but you could call me Auntie Nikki. Today I'm going to read you this story. It's called The Boar and the Tiger. I chose this story because this little guy right here reminds me a lot of Pumbaa from my favorite show, The Lion King. But I did some research and found out that he is a boar and Pumbaa was a warthog. One of the main differences between a warthog and a boar is that a boar is actually nocturnal. Do you know what that means? Feel free to type it in the comments below. This story is actually a fable. And one of the key characteristics of a fable is that it actually has a moral at the ending. So I would like to know if you can tell me the moral of the story. Again, you could write the questions down and answer them with mommy and daddy, or you can type it into the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the story. Once, a carpenter walked into a forest to find some log. Suddenly, he heard a faint sound of weeping. The carpenter followed the sound and finally found a cute baby boar trapped in a pit. The little boar was trying hard to get out of the pit, but could not. "Poor little boar," the carpenter said tenderly. "I will get you out." He brought the baby boar home and named him Carpenter's Boar. He didn't spend a lot of time on that name, did he? Time passed and the baby boar grew up to be a strong, wise young boar. When the carpenter chopped up a tree, the baby boar helped him to turn the tree over with his snout. He also used to get the carpenter his hammer, chisel, and axe with his teeth. The carpenter loved his pet boar as if he were his son. I know some of us love our pets just the same way at home. However, the carpenter was worried that someone might harm his pet boar in his absence. So, he decided to take the carpenter's boar back to the forest to live with the other wild boars. The next day, the carpenter took his beloved boar to the forest, bid him goodbye, and sadly returned home. Carpenter's boar walked deep into the forest and not long after came across a herd of boars. That's how we refer to a group of boars. We say a herd of boars. "I am glad to have found you all, and I want to live with you. We too are happy to make you a part of our herd, but you should know this forest is a dangerous place to live in." "What is it you are afraid of?" "There is a ferocious tiger who comes each morning and carries one of us off." Carpenter's boar said to the herd, "Well, why do you have to be afraid of just one tiger? There are so many of us in the herd. Moreover, we have been endowed with sharp tusks." Do you know what a tusk is? You should look it up. It's very long teeth and they're very sharp. "If we unite, we can overcome this tiger. Believe me." The carpenter's boar had a plan. He arranged the herd in a circle. The baby boars were placed in the center, circled by all boars and mother boars. The next circle consisted of young boars, while the strong grown-up boars with sharp tusks stood in the outermost circle. 2 holes were dug, a narrow one for the tiger and one for Carpenter's boar. After everything was ready, Carpenter's boar stood between the 2 holes and waited for the tiger. I'm so excited. I want to see what happens next. Early next morning, the tiger appeared. He roared loudly in his terrifying voice. Can you roar in your terrifying voice? Roar! Yeah, I think I heard you. Carpenter's boar told his herd to roar back and prepare for the counter-attack. Let me hear all the boars roaring. Roar! Good job. The tiger was surprised to see that the boars were not afraid of him as usual. How strange, he thought. These boars are not afraid of me? Huh. Why do they look so bold today? When the tiger saw the boars united, he became nervous and ran away. The tiger ran back to his cave, which was near a dwelling of a hermit. Hermit. Do you know why people are called hermits? Write it in the comments below. Now, this hermit was a false one who used to get a share of the tiger's prey. That day, the hermit saw the tiger empty-handed and so asked, "My brave tiger, why couldn't you catch any boars today?" The tiger answered, "Something was very strange. It looked as if the boars intended to fight back. Earlier, they used to run away whenever they saw me, but this time they weren't scared a bit." Since the false hermit wanted to eat meat, he roused the tiger's courage. "Don't be afraid of the boars," he urged. "One loud roar and one leap will frighten them out of their wits." The tiger yielded and said aloud, "This time I will catch and eat all the boars." When Carpenter's boar saw the tiger returning, he stood between the two pits. Suddenly, the tiger leaped straight upon the carpenter's boar. At the same moment, the boar jumped into the hole. The tiger could not stop himself. He tumbled around and fell into the other narrow hole. Immediately, Carpenter's boar came out of his hole, jumped into the tiger's, and in a wink, gorged the tiger to death with his sharp tusks. After this, the boar headed to the false hermit's dwellings. When the hermit saw the herd of boars coming towards him, he climbed up a fig tree to save himself. But Carpenter's boar ordered the young boars in the herd to knock down the tree. When the wicked hermit fell off the tree, he was gorged to death by the rest of the herd. From that day, Carpenter's boar became the leader of the boars. The herd lived happily ever after because of their unity. The end. So, do you know the questions? I'm going to go over them one more time. Tell me the moral of the story. What did you learn after you heard the story? 2, can you tell me why do we call people hermits? And 3, do you know the meaning of nocturnal? Write it into the comments below, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!